Hey everybody, it's Justice for Comics. It is Thursday evening. I'm outside, about to light up a cigar and drink a little bourbon and talk about comics, kind of what's going on this week, what's sort of been hot in comic world, and yeah, just give you a few things to think about, talk about, and see how many people join the chat. So I picked up a new cigar. I don't know if you can see this or not. It's an acid Cuba, but it's in a different wrapper. I think it may have a different flavor, so I'm going to give it a try, see if it's any good. All right, got a good light on that. Nice breeze out here in Tampa this evening. So I can tell we're getting closer to fall because the daytime you can't really tell. It's hot as hell, but at night the temperature drops a little bit, and it actually is quite pleasant. And where I live in northern Tampa, Lutz area, and we get a really good breeze in this area of Tampa. So I don't live on the water. It'd be even better if I did. But you live on the water, the only problem there is you get all kinds of bugs and mosquitoes and no-see-ums. And where I live, I don't have any problems with that. So see what we got in the chat. We got Metaphorical, Just a Rican in his comics, BTC Moon Guy, and Z Collects. Why so dark? Yeah, I don't have great lighting here. There's nothing to see anyway, so you can see my face. That's all you need. Yeah, I apologize to Metaphorical. I know he messaged me last night, and I was in Chicago. I actually was in Chicago for a few days at a conference, so I really didn't have time to do much this week. This is kind of the first chance I've had to do anything. So, yeah. What's going on here in the chat? Oh, by the way, I'm drinking. I've never tried it before. It's called Cooper's Mark Bourbon, and I think it's honey. I got a little honey flavor to it. It's not bad. So it's got a nice little sweetness to it. Yeah, there's some really good books that have been hitting lately. I know Absolute Carnage 3. I didn't order the Young Guns cover. Luckily, I called one of the local comic book shops, and they were able to grab one for me. I don't know if you saw that cover, but it's got it's kind of like the design variant. I think the cover's by Pepe Larraz, I believe, and it's got the new symbiote character on there. Yeah, it looks really good. I know I looked on eBay. That book's going for $10 to $12 pretty easily right now. So BTC Moon Guy said he went to Graham Cracker Comics. So when I was in Chicago, yeah, I didn't hit any stores. I was out near the airport. They had us at the Lowe's Hotel, which is a really nice hotel for the conference. And pretty much everything, all the restaurants were right there by the hotel. So it's literally like 5 minutes, 6 minutes from the O'Hare Airport. So I didn't get to be in downtown Chicago. Otherwise, yeah, if I had some time, I would have definitely seen if I could stop and see some comic book shops. I always like to do that if I had the time, but yeah, they kind of had us on a full schedule. It was a full day of conference symposiums, and usually at nighttime is when we had some time to go out to some nice restaurants. And we went out to the first night we went out to a steakhouse called Gibson's, which I think if you live in Chicago, or most people in the Midwest probably know of it. It's supposedly one of the best steakhouses in America. The guy I was with on the conference, he used to be a liquor salesman, so he knows all the pretty much all the high-end restaurants around the country. he's been to them all, to almost all of them, and he says Gibson's is probably one of the best. It was good. We had their signature steak. What's it called? The W steak. I think it's called the W. Big, huge steak. Basically, 3 people could share it. It's that big. And then we also got a huge 34-ounce lobster. So, and I think the lobster was like $260 just for the lobster. It's crazy. Good thing I wasn't paying. That was all comped. Just Rican says, congrats on hitting the 500 subs. Yeah, thanks, Just Rican. I'm not quite up to your level of expertise yet, but I'm getting there. I think he's up to over 800 easy. Yeah, I guess what, 1,000. At 1,000 subs, I'll probably have a little celebration. I'll probably do a giveaway too. I plan on running a contest. I think when I get north of 900, I'll start to promote a contest and give away a nice comic book. I got plenty I can give away, so I'll probably do that when I get over 900. Who else we got new in the chat? I think it's just the same guys. So you guys are BTC Moon guy says he says Gibson's is famous. Metaphorical says great food. So obviously, I know Metaphorical lives up in Chicago area, so I'm sure he's aware of it. All right, Just a Weekend. I know you have the goods, brother. Yeah, I got the goods, all right. I don't know. Lately, I've been feeling like it's like every weekend there's some crazy variant that I feel like I got to buy. I mean, it's kind of, I got to slow down. Like, what's that? Joker Year of the Villain cover by Crane. I think that's still available at Scorpion Comics. Man, it's a nice looking cover, but jeez, $60. I mean, you can buy the trade dress for 13 or 15 or something. And you buy the set. I think it's like $60 for the set. And yeah, I mean, I love Clayton Crane. It's an awesome looking cover of the Joker, but man, I don't know. I've already got a couple store variants of the Joker. I bought that Delato one, and I think the Ryan Brown one. I think those are the 2 that I bought. And they're around $30 a piece, so nothing crazy. But that Crane one was pretty nice. It took a lot of willpower not to pull the trigger on that. Yeah, Delato is fire. I just bought I did a video on it. I picked up a Red Sonja foil cover by Delato. I didn't even know this book was out there, but there's an issue number 3 that I haven't found yet, man. The Virgin foil, if I can find that, that's gonna be a fire book. I put an eBay search on it, so we'll see if I get it eventually. It just takes patience, if I wait. All right, what else is going on? When are guys like this going to do a whole book? Yeah, the cover artists. Yeah. I think Delato, the last time I saw him do interior artwork, he did that Secret War that came out. God, that had to be in the early 2000s. Yeah, that was a long time ago. Pretty much all he does is covers. I don't think Matina has ever done interior work. All he does is covers. Clayton Crane used to do a lot of interior work. He doesn't, as far as I know, he doesn't do much of that anymore. He's also doing cover work only. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. Most of these guys that are really good at Ryan Brown, I don't know that he's ever done interior work. I think he's just doing covers. Shannon Mayer, I don't think has ever done interior artwork or any comic book panels. All he does is cover work. So yeah, I mean, it's, if you're a really good artist, the way to make money is to charge to do covers and save yourself the hassle of doing interior artwork. Probably interior artwork is kind of a pain in the butt. Metaphorical says it's quicker for them to do covers and more money. Yeah, it's true. It's windy out here, so I'm going to have to light the cigar up a few times. Yeah, Alex Ross, he only does covers now, but yeah, he did interior artwork, Marvels, Kingdom Come, phenomenal work. And that was earlier in his career when he wasn't as well known as he is today. So that's also the kind of the curse of being famous and becoming popular. You don't have to lower yourself, so to speak, and do cover works or do interior artwork. So yeah, you get paid more money. I mean, I'm sure they get a couple $1,000s per cover, and then they're selling the original artwork. Some of them have their own websites where they sell the artwork, and they make another couple thousand. So it's a good living. If you could do like Delato must do, hell, he must do 4 or 5 covers a month, easy. Maybe half a dozen. I don't know. As far as I can tell, he does at least that much. All right, who we got in the chat here? Ancient Mariner. He's a good man. He's messaged me a few times on my YouTube channel. Who else we got in the chat here? Immortal Biggie Shack. I like that. That's a good name. I don't know how I came up with Justice for Comics. When I was going to create my YouTube channel, I don't know how I came up with that. Maybe Justice League, and I incorporated Justice League in comics. I don't know, something like that. I noticed there wasn't anybody else that had that title on YouTube, so I was like, I'll grab that. I'll use that. That's kind of how I came up with it. All right, BTC Moon Guy says comics are keeping me sane while watching the Bitcoin roller coaster. any Bitcoiners into comics? Man, I remember Bitcoin when that, I think when the heat came out on that, it was about 2 years ago. I think when it first broke, maybe 1,000 per coin, it made the news, and then it went all the way, I think, to like 1,900. No, well, I'm way off on that. It went to like 19,000 per Bitcoin, I think. Yeah, 19,000 per Bitcoin. And man, there was people that made a fortune, I'm sure, doing that. Yeah, BTC says 20,000. I was pretty close. I said 19. Yeah, all right. And then it crashed. I think it went down. And that would have been tough to hold through. I think it went to 20,000, and then I think it crashed all the way down to like 3 or 4, maybe 5,000 again. I don't know. Metaphorical says I bought 1,000 at 10 cents and sold at 100. Wow, good for you. There you go, smart guy. I wouldn't even know how to buy Bitcoin. I know you can't buy it like a trading account. You have to actually set up a digital wallet and all this kind of stuff. So it's a little bit more complicated. So I never got involved in it. All right, guys, what else is going on tonight? Aggressively relaxing. Thanks for coming to the chat. He says, I hate variants. I always picture the main artist looking at his art sad. Yeah, variants. There's a market for it. Obviously, there's a lot of people that only buy variants. I kind of do a mixture. I do my pre-orders. All my pre-orders, almost all of them are A covers. I don't do too many variants on those. And then, once in a while I'll pick up a 1 in 25 or 1 in 10 or something like that. Rarely do I pick up a 1 in 50. I got to really like the cover for me to do that. But yeah, we'll see. It's I am feeling a little bit of variant burnout lately. So especially the store variants, they're just, man, it's like every weekend there's some fantastic looking cover that comes out that I feel compelled to buy. It's becoming a sickness. And I don't know a lot of them. I don't think a lot of them hold their value. I mean, I've noticed some of them go up, but some of them they just stay right about where they came out at. Maybe they go down a little bit, especially the trade dress ones. They'll come out sometimes at $20, $25, and then all of a sudden you find them for $15 on eBay. That's one of the problems, the trade dress ones. So Immortal Biggie Shack says, I live in a small town. Variants are not available. One garbage shop. I grew up in Naples, Florida, in the 80s and 90s, and that's how it was for me. There was only one comic book shop. The guy literally looked. If you've seen that Simpsons episode with the comic book shop guy, he's got the long hair with a ponytail, the T-shirt with a stain on it. Literally, that was my comic book shop owner. His name was Bob, and he was always there. He literally had his comic book shop in one of those used storage shed where you can store your furniture and stuff. He literally, I don't know who owned this used storage place, but they allowed him to have a comic book shop out of one of these units. I think he combined a couple of them, tore out the wall, and he had a comic book shop in these used storage units. And man, I bought my comic books there, but a lot of times I want to buy a book, and he had a few copies. They were all damaged, and he wouldn't get replacements. So a lot of my comic books I bought from him were in bad shape. So one of the problems of having a very, very small shop sometimes. Yeah, he never had variants. There was back then there wasn't, there weren't too many variants anyways. And I don't think back then there was any online stores. I think maybe the only online store might have been Mile High, maybe. You could buy through the subscription service through them, but not like today with Midtown and My Comic Shop. They didn't have anything like that back then. That's for sure. All right, what else we got here? Mortal Biggie says, "Yo, Justice, there's a little wind in your mic." Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. It is a little windy out here. That's also why I'm out here. It's nice and cool. But yeah, I'll try to speak a little louder so you guys can hear me better. Who else we got here in the chat? Z Collects. I like Z Collects. I've been watching a couple of his videos. You guys, I don't know if we're going to do that auction thing on Sunday. I might have some time to do that. I didn't sell too much last Sunday. I just had one buyer only, some Marvel books. All right. What else we hear? Oh, I think I wanted to talk about, yeah, there was something in the news. Let me look it up here real quick, guys. I guess I saw it on CBR. I don't know what websites you use for comic books. I use CBR and Bleeding Cool. Yeah, there was something on CBR that I thought was interesting. Yeah, they talk about, I guess, Savage Avengers. That might be a title to make sure you pick up. There's something going on in that issue. Latest issue, Conan, I think, becomes an evil villain, maybe. I think they're alluding to that. The Conan series has been good. And by the way, guys, I am going to do, probably pretty soon, I'm going to do my top covers for 2019, books that I've been collecting, some of the best covers that I think came out this year that I think are really, worth having in your collection. So I'll do maybe a top 20 list of my favorite covers for 2019. I've had some people asking me to do that. I need to do a few more videos like that, and maybe I'll do a top 20 list, maybe 10. I probably don't need to do 20. I'll maybe do a top 10 list on my favorite stories to read. And I will say this: I just read, catching up. I read the first 2 issues of Heathen by Vault Comics, and I'm up to issue 5 or 6 now. And that book is good. It's very good. If you're not collecting Heathen, I highly suggest you get it. It's being developed into, I believe, a movie. It's it's kind of like if you like Thor and you like the Barbarians and Conan. It's kind of that age. It's Viking age. It mixes in the gods with Zeus. Or not Zeus, Odin rather, and the Valkyries. It's excellent. I I love that book. Absolute, you got to buy that book. One of the best things I've read in a long time. I mean, I think it's great. So, yeah. Let me know what you guys think. I don't know. I don't know if any of you have been reading it. I'm only on issue 5 or 6. So I'm not. I think it's up to. I think issue 8 is out now. So I'm a little bit behind. I'm not fully caught up, but. Aggressively relaxing says, a little wind in the mic is annoying normally, but the addition of the cigar makes the stream sound wealthy. I can just assume you're on your sailboat. No, I wish. I'm not on my sailboat. I'm in the back porch of my house. That's funny. Metaphorical asks, Justice, what is your favorite DC, Marvel, and Image for the year? Yeah, that's a good question. I think my favorite DC title is Deceased. I really like that. I think the artwork in it's excellent. I thought the story was fantastic. Marvel, I don't know. Marvel's a little more difficult. I mean, I like the House of X and Powers of X series right now. I'd put that really at the top. Absolute Carnage has been really good as well. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a toss-up between House of X, Powers of X, and Absolute Carnage. I'm trying to think of anything earlier in the year from Marvel that I thought was excellent. I don't know why I can't think. I'll have to think about that a little bit. Image, it's a solid title. Artwork's excellent. I think the story, every issue, I kind of want to see what happens in the next issue. That's a good sign of a good writer. So Scotty Young is the writer on that series. I like him as a writer better than an artist. I don't care for his artwork. I think Corona, who's the artist, does a better job. I mean, it has that cartoonish, a little bit better, a little bit more refined. So I like Middle West if I was going to pick my favorite Image book. And I do like how they ended Walking Dead. I thought that last couple issues was excellent. Anybody reading The Watcher? I have that on my pull list. I don't think I was able to pick up issue number 1. I know I've got number 2. I started grabbing it at issue number 2, so I'm going to have to try to hunt down number 1. Metaphorical says Justice is a fat banker. I am fat. I don't know about a banker, but I definitely need to lose some weight. Ancient Mariner said he jumped on number 4 and can't find the first 3 cheap. No, you can't. I think number 1 is like a $25 to $30 book. Number 2 is like $15 to $20 books. So yeah, there's definitely, turn run was real high on those. I'm not as familiar with Vault Comics, but man, I read that Heathen and I'm like, man, I got to look up more of Vault Comics. So I'm picking up The Plot. Issue number 1, I picked up all those issues, and that's also by Vault Comics. So I'm looking forward to reading that. That sounds like a good premise. Let's see here. Aggressively Relaxing says Fantastic Four, Iron Man, Squirrel Girl, and the X-Men event are so good right now. Squirrel Girl is good right now? I don't know. I don't think I would pick that up, but hey, maybe, my past picking up Squirrel Girl usually didn't end well, so hey, maybe they put a good writer on there. I don't know. I'm not familiar with Squirrel Girl right now. Yeah, metaphorical. Yeah, I can't blow smoke rings. I've tried. There's supposed to be a trick. You're supposed to pull your tongue back to the back of your mouth and then shoot it. I don't know. There's some trick to it. I haven't learned how to do it yet. All right, what else we got here in the chat? I know. I'm sorry if my mic is a little scratchy. I really can't hear how you're hearing it, but what else, guys? I wasn't going to do this for too long. I figure once in a while, maybe on a Thursday night or something, I'll do a live chat while I'm smoking a cigar. I don't know if you guys like the title. I came up with whenever I'm drinking, cigars, and comics. So next week it might be vodka, cigar, and comics. I don't know. Might change it up a little bit. trying to think of another Image book that I like besides Middle West. I know I collect a few of them. I'm interested to see Saga come back. I think that comes back next year. But they've been on a hiatus. Monstrous, I've been collecting that. I mean, the Monstrous has great artwork, but I got to be honest. The story, I get a little lost in the story. I'm not too sure what the hell's going on with that story. I'm trying to think what else I'm collecting with Image. Yeah, man, nothing's really coming to mind. Walking Dead's over with. I don't collect that anymore. I kind of like it when a series ends and I don't have to keep collecting it. I'm always trying to find ways to cut books out of my pull list. Sharky the Bounty Hunter. I think I collected the first 3 issues of that. It was okay. Mark Miller. I liked Magic Order a lot. I thought that was really, really good. It's interesting. Most of the Mark Miller books are never worth money. I mean, am I wrong on this? Try to think of a Mark Miller book that, or a series that really catches fire and is worth a ton of money. I really can't think of any. So Magic Order I liked, though. I thought that was a really, really good read. Metaphorical says I should call it Bourbon, Belvederes, and Books. I get that. Keep the bees going. I'm not drinking Belvedere, though. I'm drinking Cooper's Mark, whatever that is. Small batch, and it was on sale at ABC Liquor. So, and I like to try out different, bourbons and whiskeys sometimes. If I'm not familiar with it, I'll try it out. This one's pretty good. It's smooth. It's got a little sweetness to it, so I don't need to mix anything with it. It's pure bourbon and ice. So, let's see. Aggressively Relaxing says Squirrel Girl is about to end with issue 50, and it's incredible. They had an issue where she did an escape room, and you could solve it, and a ton of other gimmicks. Huh? All right. I know Squirrel Girl normally gets a bad rap because I think it's one of those SJW titles typically, or it has been in the past. But yeah, I try to be open-minded. If someone says, "Hey, you should go check out this book," I'm open to that. Not a problem. Iron December. Can Marvel keep the title going? Yeah, I don't know. Iron Man, I kind of see why they're canceling. I've collected it off and on here and there, mainly because of covers. There were some really good covers. I can't remember the artist. What's his name? He did some really cool detailed covers. The name isn't coming to me, but I collected it off and on. I guess, yeah, they're passing the torch to Ironheart. And I'll tell you, I got a bad story about Ironheart. When that Ironheart #1 came out, I bought that Stephanie Hans cover. I paid $120 for that book. I don't think it's worth more than $60 now. I mean, I've gotten crushed on that thing. I don't know. I don't think I'll ever break even on that book. I definitely overpaid. I don't know. At that time, there was a lot of I just got caught up into it. We all have those books that we buy that we probably shouldn't have bought. I have a few of those, believe me. BTC Noon Guy says, I've been hunting Tomb of Dracula lately. Yeah, Bronze Age is the way to go. A lot of those books are on fire right now. First appearance of Blade, that's a big, expensive book now. Yeah, horror books are cool. Marcus is one of my good buds. He sent me some really nice early DC House of Mysteries. That's a really cool title. You can get some early Bernie Wrightson artwork in there. The stories are pretty good. I mean, it's really good artwork in those titles too. So, and you can get them cheap. I mean, they're not too expensive. I mean, obviously, House of Secrets #92, the first Swamp Thing is a big book, big expensive book. But a lot of issues around they're not expensive. You can pick them up for $10, $15, $20 typically in good condition. All right. Aggressively relaxing retracted his message. I don't know what happened there. Ancient Mariner says Dr. Doom should just kill everyone, sit on his throne, and say F you, Marvel. Yeah, I agree with that. So I've been trying to buy some books on eBay. I won't tell you the books I'm looking at because you guys will hone in on my bids. But yeah, there's been some books I'm looking at. A couple older titles. I picked up Daredevil 131 about a month and a half ago. That was my last older book. Picked up 2 copies of that. The first appearance of Bullseye. I got really lucky. I found two sellers that were, I don't know, they were dumping the book cheap, and I mean they're like 8.5s to 9.0s. I mean, they're really good shape. So yeah, there's some good deals out there on eBay. You just have to look for them. And by the way, I don't know if anybody has experienced any taxes yet on eBay. I've not seen that yet. I'm in Florida. In the last couple of books I bought, I didn't notice that I got charged any taxes, but people keep telling me that that's coming, that when you buy something on eBay, they're going to be collecting taxes. I haven't seen it yet. At least I haven't, but I don't know. If anybody else has seen that, let me know. Put that in the chat. Yeah, that Morbius, I know that book's hot. They're relaunching that. I think that cover coming out looks really nice. I pre-ordered that in advance. BTC Moon Guy says he picked up a Wrightson House of Secrets 103 recently, high grade black. Wow, that's awesome. I don't think I have that one. Yeah, there's some really good books out there from the 70s. Metaphorical says they won't collect from you, Justice. It's the seller who pays. That's what I'm saying. I think I bought a couple of books lately, and I didn't notice that I got charged any taxation. So I don't know if that's happening yet or not. At least I haven't noticed it. Ancient Mariner says that Moon Knight 25 is not cheap and high grade. In fact, that'll be a book I highlight. I'll do a video on that. I've got a really high grade Moon Knight 25. I've told the story on this to a couple people. I woke up one morning. You know how you dream right before you wake up? I had a dream that I saw the book. I don't know if I visualized it, or I had a dream that I was able to get the book on eBay. And sure enough, I woke up, went on my phone real quick, and there was a listing for $40, and it had the white dot on it. And it was, I'm telling you, this thing is like, if it's not a 9.8, it's easily a 9.6. And I got it for $40. I mean, it was I mean, at that time, I think that book was easily $75 to $80 book in high grade, and I got it for $40. So, man, I don't know. It's weird. I'm not usually somebody who believes in fate and all that kind of stuff, but that was a strange coincidence. I was dreaming about it, woke up, and bought the book. Yeah, I need to definitely do a video on some of my older books. I've got a lot of older books that I haven't mentioned and put on my videos in a long time. I got some older Silver Surfer books that are in nice shape. Some early Moon Knight. Yeah, I got some cool books that I need to highlight and do some. And I'm kind of in agreement. I think the industry, you'll see it shift a little bit. I think you're going to see more and more people go back for the older books, the 70s, 60s, that are still somewhat affordable. Thing, Silver Age, Golden Age, forget it. It's so expensive. And I think the reason for that is because a lot of these guys in their 40s and 50s now, around my age, there's a lot of people making money. Think about it. If you're a hedge fund manager, I mean, I've heard of 45, 50-year-old hedge fund managers. They're billionaires. They can go out and they can spend $1 million on comic books and it'd be nothing for them. So, of course, that's part of it. That's going to drive prices, is a lot of these wealthier guys in the marketplace, putting their money into hard assets like comic books. I mean, they're investments. Those older books, they appreciate well. I mean, they're like a blue chip stock. I mean, they do well. Cameron D says, do you slab any of your books? I don't. I thought about doing it, but I thought about it and I was like, if I would slab a book if I was going to sell it. I think that's the way to get a premium value for your comic book. If you think it's in high grade or at least in mid grade, and it's a key book, it's in good demand. The difference in price between a raw and a graded could be $100, right? $1,000 in some cases. So yeah, there's a case to be made to slab, but I would only do it if you're really going to sell the book. Most of my books I don't want to sell, so I'm not saying someday I might want to sell them, and if I do, yeah, I'll have to probably get a lot of them slabbed. Agent J.R. Ewing says, what service do you use for book inventory? I use I think a lot of people use it. I use the CLZ Comics app. So it's not completely accurate, but it says right here on my app that I'm up to, let's see if I can, I'm up to 6,037 comics. Probably a little bit more than that because I probably don't have everything listed in there. But that's pretty close. I'm over 6,000 books for sure. But that's kind of what I use. It's really easy. I think I paid a one-time fee, and they upgrade the version every so often. But there'll be a lot of books, like a lot of the store variants aren't in there, so you have to manually add them. You have to take a picture of it. They allow you to do that, which is cool. You can take a picture of your book and manually load it onto the app, which is kind of neat. All right, what else do we have on here? Some older books, Fantastic 448. Yeah, that's an expensive book. I mean, that was a book that, I was looking at it probably 2-3 years ago. Mid-grade, I was probably looking at a mid-grade 7.0 for, I think it was under $2,000, I believe. Should have bought it, but that's a lot of money to put in one book. But great investment. I mean, that book's only going to go up to buy those graded. Just to kind of make sure that they know what they have in their hand. Ancient JR says, does the app give you an estimate of what you own overall? I don't think it doesn't give values. It's just a way of categorizing your books. Cigars okay. It's not. I think the wind is kind of killing it. I'm having to reload it a couple times. Kind of crazy. What else is going on, guys? I haven't seen that new Spider-Man movie. I don't know. I'm gonna wait till it comes out in video at this point. I'm trying to think. The last movie I went to see in the theater, I think it was Endgame. Was Avengers Endgame? I'm trying to think that's probably the last movie I saw. Not as big of a moviegoer as I used to be. I'll see Star Wars when it comes out in December. I'm trying to think what else is coming out. Joker, I'll go see Joker. I think that's coming out in October. Definitely want to see that. Ancient Marriage says, most new comics are like cars. They depreciate immediately as you walk out the door to dollar books. Yeah, in some cases that's true. No doubt about it. That's why you got to be selective. Don't buy with the intention that, I'm hoping I make a bunch of money. It's not the way to collect, in my opinion. Buy your book, enjoy it, read it, enjoy the artwork, and if it's ever worth any money, it's a bonus. That's the way I view collecting comic books. I think that's the way everybody should view it. There's a lot of people that are in it more for the money, more for the appreciation than there's people that say that they don't even read their books. I'm just like, what? I mean, I'm behind, I probably have 50 or 60 books behind right now. So, I can catch up in 2 or 3 days. I mean, I can go on a binge and read most of the books and catch up. But a lot of people, I hear a lot of people like, yeah, I don't even read comic books anymore. I'm like, then what are you doing? If you want to invest, don't buy just comic books. Go out and buy stocks or figure out real estate, something like that. Don't put all your money into comic books. That's crazy. People do that. Yeah, Cameron says, buy what you love and you won't hate your collection. That's right. I've always said that. Figure out what you like. I don't buy any Jugheads or romance books. There's certain genres of comic books that I just don't buy. It's not my thing. And I wouldn't buy them just because, I think this will be worth money. I don't really do that. I want to be able to buy a book that I'm going to read, I'm going to enjoy it. And I can tell you, sometimes I buy a book, I don't know if it's going to be good, right? I mean, I read the solicitation, the premise sounds good, then I get the book, and then it's not that good. I don't know. Older romance, I'm not into that. Some horror books I'm into, but I'm more into superheroes than I am horror books. I don't know. Everyone has their thing. What's my thoughts on the new series Invaders? I've heard it's good. Don't know who's writing that. I know Butch Geis is doing the artwork, I think, or at least the cover work. Not too sure. I've heard it's really good, though, the Invaders series. That might be one. If you can't get the original issues, maybe you buy it in trade. But I've heard that the story is pretty good on that. All right, guys, what else? I've been on here for 42 minutes. Whew, man, 42 minutes? Time flies. I'm still not done. I'm not even halfway done with the cigar just because it keeps going out on me. BTC Moon Guy says the Strange Tales 158 has the Pink Floyd tie-in. I like Pink Floyd. Back in when I was in high school in the 90s, I graduated in 91, so it would have been 88 through 91. Pink Floyd was pretty popular. That group came to Florida a few times in Miami. And I remember a lot of the young people were really into Pink Floyd at that time. What are my thoughts on Submariner 1960 series? Yeah, if they bring Submariner into a movie, I think all those early Submariner books are going to be hot. I think Submariner #1, his first solo series, that's getting to be a pretty expensive book now. Metaphorical says he's coming in phase 5. I agree with that. They're definitely going to bring him into the Marvel universe. So you still got some time. I think those books they'll fluctuate in value, so you still have some time to get them. All right, guys. Trying to think what else we could talk about. That might be it. I didn't plan on being on here for 45 minutes. But once in a while, I think every Thursday I'll try to, maybe if I have time. Some weeks are busier than others, but I like to get on here and just do a live chat, smoke a cigar, see what's going on with the community. But let me know what you guys think. So the books I'm kind of looking for in the next few months. I get my Midtown order coming here in a few weeks. King Thor, I'm looking forward to reading that. Jason Aaron, I think, will do a good job on that series. I think he's the writer on that. I think it's just a one-shot. The Plot #1, I talked about that. I'm interested in seeing that book. Yeah, Venom Island. That cover by Crane is awesome. Venom Island. That's definitely a must buy. I think that comes out in is it December? I don't think it was on the pre-orders because I did my November pre-orders a couple weeks ago already, and I don't remember that being on the pre-order list. So it's got to be December, which hasn't come out yet. JR says yes. All right, yeah, I think it's December is when you can pre-order that. Yeah, Venom Island, Hickman's X-Men, and New Mutants. So that War Child, was it New Mutants War Child #1? I don't think I picked that up. I know Sienkiewicz is doing the interior artwork on that, so that could be interesting because he usually doesn't do interiors. He usually just does covers. So that might be worth grabbing to see if it's any good. I believe that comes out next Wednesday. I believe I highlighted it on my my new comic book day video. But yeah, I think that's it. I'm trying to think of what else is coming out. Oh, Dead End Kids #3. That book sold out. I bought that. I highlighted it on my channel. And again, they limited it to 100 copies. And I think that sold out in an hour or two. It sold out very, very quickly. I follow Deviant Apple on Instagram. I highly recommend that you do as well. Esteban Salinas is the artist. He does digital artwork. He does some awesome covers. He did Trees, Three Fates #1. He did a really good cover for that. I believe that sold out. He's becoming kind of a hot artist. I'm recommending him to a lot of people. I know Jim's Comics likes him and has been recommending him. He did those covers for Rejected, which are very, very hot books now. I highly recommend you check out Deviant Apple on Instagram. He sells most of his covers through Black Cape Comics. And he's got another one coming out for Wolvenheart. I think it's called Wolvenheart. And if you look on Instagram, he shows you the cover on that. It looks awesome. It's definitely an homage to Frank. Probably sometime either this weekend or next weekend, they're going to announce the preset. And it's limited to only 250 copies. So it's probably going to sell out. Lately, a lot of his books have been selling out. So I try to let everybody know about that in advance. I'll probably do a video on that just so everybody that subscribes to my channel at least gets a gets a preview on that so you can grab it. Favorite Avenger? I don't know. My favorite Avenger? Thor, maybe? Hulk? I don't know. Wolverine was an Avenger. I like Wolverine. When does Contagion start? I think that already, first issue, didn't that already come out? No, I don't think I pre-ordered that one. Agent J.R. Ewing says it comes out in October. That's probably right. All right, guys, that's kind of all I had. We're 49 minutes, 50 minutes on the dot right now into this live stream. I appreciate everybody that joined the chat. Yeah, give me some feedback. If you think I should do this every Thursday, I'll try to make it maybe a little bit more interesting. I'll come maybe a little bit more prepared. I'm also thinking about coming out with maybe just some book reviews, books that I really like the writing, and kind of show off why I like the writing on the book. Not just talk about, hey, I like this book, go pick it up, but actually pull the book out and kind of show you some panels. Here, this is why this is a good book. I'm thinking about maybe doing a video on that. So I might do one on Heathen. I mentioned Heathen from Bulk Comics. I think it's a great series. I'm very impressed with it so far. The story's awesome. The artwork is fantastic. It's definitely one of the best books I've read in a while. So yeah, look for that video. I'm going to probably do that maybe next week. I'll do maybe just like a comic review of Heathen. I'll go through a couple of the issues, give you my take on it. All right, guys. Have a good evening. Look for my video tomorrow. I'll be doing a hot 10 list from CBSI. So CBSI posts their top books for the week that are kind of on the move for various reasons, speculation, things like that, maybe movie news release, option news, things like that. I'll do a review of that top 10 list. And also, usually Cover Price does an email to me every week on their top 20 list. Usually I'll do that on Saturday. I usually don't get it quite as fast, so I'll try to do a review on that. And yeah, everybody, thanks Metaphorical. If you can, please subscribe to my channel. I'm up to like 515 subs, 517, somewhere around there. So I appreciate everybody's support of my channel. It's growing pretty well. I enjoy doing it. I know I don't have the production value some of these other channels have, but I try to make it just a guy likes to talk about comic books. That's pretty simple. Keep it simple. All right, guys. Hey, have a great evening, and I'll see you tomorrow.